Journey with Judy. Honest, open, transparent. It's hot.
There's no such thing as perfect people. There's no such thing as a perfect life. So come as you are, broken and scarred. Lift up your heart and be amazed and be changed by a perfect God.
Okay, so I'm totally bawling my eyes out. I mean, just right. I said good morning to Dave. I ran in here later than usual. And, I guess it's just all confirmed that I am what my husband says. Flailing, freaking out, and doing the same thing I do every single year. And gosh, I tell you guys all the time that nothing changes when nothing changes. And so nothing changes. Again, I am so caught up in all the reasons that are not the season. And I'm so sad. That was my prayer to God to forgive me for once again doing the same thing. I got the highest highs and the lowest lows. And my little nephew, he's 8 years old. And yesterday I was flailing around. I was giving him a ride. And he just said, "Aunt Judy, why are you so bummed?" And I said, "Buddy, I'm not bummed." And he goes, "Oh, you're just really exhausted?" I said, "That's it, dude. Being Judy Hare is so exhausting." And he said, "But it's going to be Jesus's birthday." And this little kid, he was not raised in his faith. And it's just so awesome that he totally put it in perspective for me by saying it's Jesus's birthday. And so then we were talking about how cool it is that you get to go to a birthday party for Jesus and he gives you the gifts. Dave, is that not the coolest thing? This was so not my opening story. But anyway, so my man and I, we just had our 1 year anniversary of when we lost our money, Dave, at the mall. And my man and I purposefully went into that same dressing room just 2 days ago to just relive that whole experience. And this time we didn't leave all our money there. We left all the things we purchased there. Dave, what are we thinking? Anyway, but we did the same thing. We went shopping and my man said, "Jude, we're not shopping. We are purchasing." Because we were just days away and now 2 days away from Christmas. And everybody keeps saying the same thing, Dave, is, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" And the reality is these stress-filled days, there's no reason. We complicate Christmas, and it's so not complicated. It's us running around trying to find this surprise perfect gift that somebody wants so bad. And the only way you can give them is the surprise perfect gift that they want so bad is that it's not a surprise, that you bring them to the store. You show, they walk around and they show you what they want. And then you say, "Okay, can you go over there?" And then you go buy it. And there's never a surprise about it. And see, for me, I give you this really perfect gift, Dave, and I want you, and I didn't get you a gift, just to clarify, but if I did give you a gift, I would have this really big expectation that you would think it was the greatest gift ever, and if you didn't, it would totally ruin it for me. So somehow, even when it comes to gift giving, I am totally selfish. I can't even stand it. But here's the message that my little nephew, as he sat in the back seat of my car, just being an 8-year-old kid who just believes without a shadow of a doubt that it's all going to work out. And even though I'm so not ready for Jesus, I'm even less ready for the guest that's coming the day before Jesus is coming. So Dave, can we go to break and then I'll tell you who that guest is, because that guest seriously most reminds me of Jesus. He's like Jesus with skin on, and I'm loving that and I'm digging that. And we're going to break and I'm not going to be crying when we come back. You are journeying with Judy right here on Lake 96.1.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the
Okay, I love that song because it's the reminder that really all I want for Christmas is you. That's what Jesus says every single Christmas. All I want for Christmas is for you to want to spend time with me. And I got a guest coming to my house tomorrow, and I'm less ready for him than I am for Jesus. And that is the bish, Dave. The Bishop of Milwaukee is coming to hang with the Hares and all. I'm telling you, for the whole last week, I kept saying to Bobby, which is why he's been saying I'm flailing and freaking out. I'm like, the Bish can't come. The Bish can't come. I'm so not ready for the Bish to come. Okay, so my man in total support of me keeps telling me the same thing. I will do whatever you want me to do to help you get ready for Jesus' birthday, for the Bish, for Christmas, for whatever your big umbrella of freaking out is. But he needs a list. Like, he wants a specific list. So he is cleaning right now for the Bish to be coming. And I'm so excited for the Bishop to come, because here's what I know. My kids are off of Christmas break, I think, for 10 days. And I know for sure I'm going to have one good day. You know why? Because the Bishop is going to be in the house, and we're going to be on our best behavior. And even though I tell him that this is who we are, and I tell my kids just be who you are, that doesn't include like dropping F-bombs and, like just being all hateful and hurtful. Yeah, being who we are. So it's like, be who you are, but don't be who you are. So here's the deal. All Jesus wants for Christmas is for us to want to be with him. And I think if you're like me, then you focus on what you're without, right? Do you do that, Dave? Like, maybe you're so happy right now because you have this beautiful baby, and that's your focus, is you're so blessed right now to have your family. But there's so many people who are focusing on what they're without. And the reality, Dave, we know this, that the word Jesus, Emmanuel, means God with us. So no matter what we're without, we are always with God. Now, the reality is we don't think like that. We don't act like that. Because I can tell you that this year, if I was focusing on what I was without, I would say I'm going to be without my son, who won't be home for Christmas. And my man, he's without some financial security. And Carter, he's without his family. And I just want you to know, I'm pretty sure he's so happy about that, Dave. I don't think Carter is at all sad, because he doesn't necessarily want to come back and see us. But here's the good news, Mr. Half Full Glass. It is statistically or something, it is a proven fact that the worst time between a parent and a kid is their first visit home from college. Really? So our way of handling that is to just never have him home. So we never, ever have to hate on him anymore. We're just going to leave him there. But anyway, so we're without him, and he's without us, and Chan is without her driving privilege, and Kennedy is without her electronics, and her Christmas list says, all I want is my phone and iPod back. Dave, you don't know this yet, but when Avery's 15 and says all she wants is this, it's a lie. It's just like when Angela says, I don't want anything. Yes. So I really would love nothing more than for Santa just to give her iPod back and have nothing else under the tree and say, well, that's what you said. But anyway, so Campbell's without a puppy. And last year when I gave her a ceramic one as a substitute, she thought that was so lame. It was a little ceramic thing. And she also wants a phone because, Dave, everybody has a phone but my daughter Campbell, okay? So 4 out of 5 of those things are not going to get received, unfortunately or fortunately, no matter how you look at it. But the reality is, in the big picture, and we're always trying to change our perspective because things change when we change the way we look at things. And there's people who are without a spouse and a house. People who are without health and wealth, people who are without on so many levels, so much more profoundly impacted by their without. But regardless of what we're without, friends, we are with every time, all the time, no matter what. We are with Jesus, and we're celebrating. We're supposed to be. The reason for the season is the fact that this guy is coming to change everything. So I don't know what we're focusing on. Without or with, what's it going to be? Because I got you and you got me, and together we got he. We got this guy who's asking to come alongside of us, for us to just be present to him. He doesn't even want any presents on his birthday. He just wants our presents. And why is it so hard to give, Dave? Why is that hard for you to give?
Absolutely.
Tell me the last time you sat in the presence of Jesus. Avery's baptism, and you were so mindful of his presence. But see, the reality is he is so present in every single situation, circumstance in our life. And like, as Bob and I were shopping and running through the Janesville Mall, totally on a time frame, trying to get things done, and we walked out the door and it was snowing, which totally put us behind. I want you to know that I never even noticed that Santa was there. I never even heard the Christmas music. I was so oblivious to the reason for the season. And Dave, is that pathetic? Why are we complicating Christmas, friends? Tell me that you're not the only one who is so not ready, because I am so not ready for Christmas, and I am even less ready for Jesus. We're going to go to break, and I'm not going to be crying when we get back. You are Journeying with Judy right here on Lake 96.1.
Said the night wind to the little lamb.
Okay, I totally dig that song, The 12 Days of Christmas, and I know that many of you don't even know the symbolism behind those 12 days of Christmas, and I'm going to ask you to sit tight because I want to keep talking about being present to Jesus, and if we have time, Dave, then guess what? I'll be telling you what the 12 days of Christmas really means. So, the ultimate gift for the ultimate giver would just be our willingness, our want to be present to him. And the thing about like giving and receiving, it's so much easier to give a gift than it is to receive it, right? I give with expectation and I receive with expectation. That's just me, because I've always had super high expectations. And the older I get, the more I really do appreciate giving more than receiving. Like I really want my kids to be happy, Dave. I get so caught up in, like I said to Campbell yesterday, like, baby, what's the one thing that you can't live without? And you know what? I have to say that 3 of my kids made the simplest list this year, Dave, because they know our situation financially isn't what it was in the past, So instead of asking for like a pony and a car or, a new boat, they're asking for just some necessities. However, we have Carter 2,000 miles away still, like every day I get 12 emails with all the things that he wants for Christmas because his mindset has not changed, Mr. High Expectations. But the reality is the fact that, Dave reminded me, we're really not 2 days away, but to me it's 2 days, because by Christmas Eve, if you're not ready, baby, you are so not going to be ready. So whether it's 2 days or 3 days, how do we get from point A to point B? How do we get to end up at the manger on Christmas Day, being present to receive the greatest present that's ever been given? See, it's not just about putting Jesus in the manger. Like, I don't know if you'll do that, Dave. When Avery gets older, you do, okay? And so you hide Jesus, right? You hide him somewhere, and it's so funny because there's been times where we've hidden him and we couldn't be able to find him. It's like, where is Jesus? But the reality is 365 days a year, the hairs are hiding Jesus. I know he's somewhere in my home. I know he's somewhere in the hearts of every person that I love. But sometimes he's so hard to find. And then when you find him, it's like that feeling that you can't describe because you've encountered him on such a personal level like you did at Avery's baptism, Dave. Because when you encounter Jesus, it is impossible. It is so impossible to put it into words, to articulate it, but it's something that you want to hold on to so bad, and it gives you something that no gift you would ever unwrap will ever give you. See, and I know that no matter how many presents that Santa puts under my kid's tree, I know in like 15 minutes, it's all going to be over. There's going to be a moment of expression that makes you feel happy for your kid or your spouse or whatever, but the reality is it just goes away. It's just like something that was there and it's gone. And so why we put so much time and effort into that one thing, into giving the ultimate gift, when here's the deal, I bet you there's so many countless kids that would give anything for the presence of their parents, for the presence of their siblings, for the presence of their son who might be fighting for our freedom, for the presence of a spouse who maybe was laid to rest and went to be home with Jesus. And so, guys, we just have to be so mindful. And when I say we, I mean me, because I'm not, and I'm hoping you're not too, so I'm not alone on this journey. So mindful of the fact that all Jesus is looking for is for us to want to be present to him and with him. And if we are, I'll tell you, our Christmases will be exactly what they're supposed to be. They won't be complicated at all. They'll be the most simple. They'll be the most awesome. because we will be with Jesus, Emmanuel, God with us. So, Dave, can I stop crying now and tell you what the 12 days of Christmas means? Do I have time to tell my friends that? Okay, so first of all, the theme of today, we have to say, is we need to be present to Jesus, and we need to accept his presence, which is his present to us. And more is not always better. More is almost never enough. And less is more, Dave. You ever hear that? Less is more sometimes. Okay, so the 12 days of Christmas, guys. The partridge in the pear tree is Jesus. The turtle doves are the Old and New Testament. The French hens, 3 French hens, are the Trinity. 4 calling birds are the 4 Gospels. The 5 golden rings are the first 5 books of the Bible. The 6 geese a-laying, Dave, they're the 6 days of creation. The 7 swans a-swimming are the 7 gifts of the Spirit, which I need so bad. Maids a milking, there's 8 of them, and those represent our 8 Beatitudes. The ladies dancing are the 9 fruits of the Spirit. Our lords are leaping are the 10 commandments, which I break every single day of my life. Maybe not all of them anymore. I broke them all in my life, but I try to only break about half of them these days. The 11 pipers piping are the faithful apostles. Thank God for them. And the 12 drummers drumming are the 12 points of the Apostles' Creed, which is our faith on so many levels. And so as we sing that song, just so you understand, that song used to be sung in England during a time of persecution when we couldn't really talk about our faith. And so this song was invented as a way to teach our faith and to teach people about Jesus. And the reality is that we got to be hearing what he's hearing. We got to be seeing what he's seeing. And we got to be doing what he's doing. And not just one time a year. But one time a year would be good, Dave, if it was none versus one. But this traditional Christmas carol has such rich history that we got to go back to, especially as our world continues to make Jesus not want to be talked about and known on so many levels. And so, Dave, this might be a highlight, my most crying show. Dave, we're going to end the year. This is in the top 5 crying show. And you know what? I'm really sorry, friends. I don't know if I'm crying because I'm so pathetic. No, because I'm doing the same thing I did obviously in years past. Like I said to my man, I think I got it this year. I think I'm different. And he said, it's your lie. Tell it any way you want to. Nothing changes when nothing changes. And I dig my man because he's always calling me and he's always all convicting me and all that stuff. But anyway, we have 2 days, 3 days, however you want to look at it. Let's call it 3 days, Dave, because when it's 3, that's Trinitarian. That means we got 3 days to be so mindful of the moments, to know that God sent his only son. I got to tell you, I'm struggling with my only kid being gone in Arizona. Never mind sending him to die for the sake of people who are so undeserving. Your host of Journey with Judy, the most undeserving. So I wish you all a merry, a happy, a healthy, and blessed Christmas. And we're going to wrap it up when we come back, right? Without any crying. Oh, yeah, Greg, Merry Christmas to you, buddy, because your gift to me is sponsoring my show, and I'm digging you, and I'm digging your family. So, Greg Cunis. Yeah, that would be Cunis Country Auto Group. I'm driving one of his cars again. I just drive them all around until I don't like them, and then I turn them in. I get them all dirty. I put all kinds of stuff in them, and then Bob has to clean it. And anyway, okay. Now we're going to go to break. You are journeying with Judy on Lake 96.1. So joy to the world. Joy, we all know, Dave, that joy stands for Jesus, others, yourself. So I was thanking Jesus the other day when I blew my budget. We make a budget, and then I always blow it. Because once we have this budget in place, and then someone unexpectedly sends us a check, like my parents or Bobby's aunt and uncle, and we have this influx of money, I thank Jesus, and then I go buy more things. Because, Dave, when I love to give... And so my man says that that's not a budget. That's not the way you're supposed to work a budget. But anyway, he says again, then he says that same thing again. It's your lie. Tell it any way you want. Anyway, this is not about my man. This is about the man who doesn't want a lot, who's all we need. 'Tis the season because he is the reason. And if you gave him a gift, what would it be? He would say, I just want you to want to spend time with me. And friends, you know that I'm all about getting something for nothing. And if you spend some time with Jesus, it doesn't cost anything. Nothing. And you're going to need him next week because we're going to be talking about New Year's resolutions, Dave. And you cannot do your New Year's resolutions in your own strength. So get Jesus. You got just a couple days to be so mindful of his presence being the ultimate present. So you can blow your budget, but as long as you're mindful of Jesus, he's going to make it all work out. Don't even have a doubt, right? That's what Chase said. It'll all work out. No reason for doubt. You have journeyed with Judy this morning, and if you notice, I am not crying as I end the show. So thanks be to God. It is a Christmas miracle. So thanks be to God. Merry, Merry Christmas. You are listening to Lake 96.1. Oh, no, keep it hot. I forgot about all that. How about it? Let's keep it hot this Christmas. Honest, open, and transparent. Peace out.